Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, I can't hear myself. It is the first day of the new year. I'm a little sick, so I might sound a little weird. I'm sure that my voice will clear up, though, as we're going along. Also, my mic is like way closer, so I don't know. There's going to be a lot of adjustments today. I might have to move the microphone. Might have to move the camera and all of that. But we have some really good stuff to talk about today. But before we go into all of that, let's check out what the market has been doing while we've been gone. So to the charts here. Oh, where's my volume profile? Let's just look at it with the volume profile. So the real story here is the E-mini. This one. Sorry. So, we haven't really been around since the 20th, 22nd? And we've had a pretty good run. But then after Christmas, I thought maybe we would just rally into the end of the year. But a couple of bigger sell-offs towards the end. And now today we'll see where they're going. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I didn't connect my data. I've developed a new, well, I'll show you guys in a second, but I was developing some new stuff and I had to disconnect myself from the data to develop it. So I don't have it running here. It'll download the overnight because I don't actually see the overnight in this. Yeah, it'll take it a bit. There we go. Okay, so we've recovered quite a bit over the first. So I do think that there's a little bit of caution here. There has been some profit taking, but the outlook still looks positive. So that's what the E-mini is doing. The treasuries have been kind of sideways. There is a lot of buying into the new year. So the treasuries may continue to have a little bit of lift today. I mean, if we come over here, we can see that they're buying. Oh dear. My camera. All right, fix that. Now I'm gonna have to adjust. Just doing that moved the camera. I have a slightly different stand. I have to fix that. Anyways, so how are you guys doing? Let's. Where's my 10-year? There it is. All right, cool. Let's fix this. That better? There we go. That's better. Probably need to use a different mount. That one doesn't appear to be strong enough. Yeah, they're trading. Okay, so we aren't even to the open, and there's a decent amount of trade happening up here at the top. I'm a little bit cautious about it taking longs here, though. We could maybe scalp one out there. Maybe they try and bust through that 16. Look at that. Oh, you know what? I kind of screwed up my, what's this one right here? Kind of screwed up my DOM the other day, so okay, cool. This doesn't need to be as big. There we go. Okay, so um I have this new, let's fix this. So I've got a new control here to show me the level 2 changes, which is super cool, but I need to set it to 400s. There we go. Although we're getting some big ones. Look at that. Thousands. They're pretty far out though. Well, there's a lot of orders being put in, at least. Here to start the new year. Yeah. See, I think that we might see some strong volume pressing higher, but I'm personally a little cautious about just stepping into a long here because I know that there's going to be all these guys having to buy treasuries to hedge their inventories for the month and the year. And that could mean, you're going to see some buying, but that might not necessarily, you might not want to insert yourself in between all of that, Mm. Oh man, I did not have the best start this morning because I didn't eat all my food. Mm. Let's make sure Twitter is up. It looks like Seth is still sleeping. Yeah, because I didn't start exactly at 8:15, did I? Well, there's certainly enough going into 16 that I think they could push a little bit higher. I don't know. I'm tempted to join this, but I think I should just sit out and watch it a little bit and eat some food here because uh they're gonna buy it for sure. But is it really gonna run? We're running right into a spot where I think you could get some resistance. Actually, now that's interesting. But we'll see if they make it or not. They could totally bust this. They'd have to get above oh man, am I sweating? I'd have to get above oh, why do I have it on ZB here? Let me change it back to ZN. What's the price? 18. I can see somebody sitting there. So they might break above 18. Somewhere around here, though, we might run into the we want to fade this. I don't know. All right, let's just watch it for a bit more. Here, I'm just gonna wharf all this food down real quick, all right? All right. Well, I don't know. We got an interesting start here. Oh, are they? We got some news coming in here. We got some news. Sorry. Let's see here. What do we got? It is unemployment claims estimated 222,000, and the result here is 222. So in line with expectations. How are you guys all doing? Oh, you know what? We need to restart this. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something. It's okay, guys. First day of the year. Just relax. Like, get yourself resituated. Always going to be a little bit off after you've taken a break. Oh, look at that. Down tick. Pretty solid one, too. I don't know, though. I could just hit into that right there. Oh, why is this like that? Why is this like that? And that's like this. And all the things. There we go. Uptick. The liquidity up above us did not add back on. And notice right there on that downtick. Curious. Oh, so I forgot to tell you guys. Oh, RFO Trader's taking a new one. What did you got?
RFO Trader says short, tight stop 17.50.
All right.
RFO Trader says Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So RFO Trader, I don't know what this means because this is something that I've only recently been watching, and I only saw it happen once over the holidays, but I am noticing that on that downtick, there was a increase in limit orders further out. So these were limit orders that were more than 2 ticks away. So at 16.5 and below, there was adding and pulling. When I saw it yesterday, it actually ended up being a significant reversal. But I think that means that you were not the only person that took it short there. Ooh. You're really going to take 18.5 with only 636? Oof. That was way too easy for them. Well, why isn't the liquidity up here adding again? Okay, you know what? I need to go and get a Kleenex here. Hold on. That was like way fishy, right? They just blew right through that like nothing. You were able to stretch it? Wow, good job. Good job, dude.
RFO Trader says yeah. Winstanza Mom says Happy New Year. Speculator Seth Happy New Year to all of Speculators' viewers. Are you rested and relaxed and ready to trade?
I think so. You know what? So there's been stuff going on. And if you don't know what's going on, don't concern yourself with it. It'll just bring you down, and it's not really anything to be really all that concerned about. Some people are
Winstanza
just
Mom
a little...
says someone got a haircut. Looking good DDDD.
And I got a haircut. I haven't actually shaved it since last week. I don't know. My hair is pretty...
Air Cages says I've watched and waited since the time of Seth and cheered as a new decade drew its breath. New year, new Seth. Happy New
New
Year.
Year. You know what I was saying? Oh, you know what? I got to show you guys this TikTok. I've been getting into TikTok. Oh, I need to check. Oh, let's just. I'm not logged in on my computer. Let's check my phone. I put a TikTok on yesterday. I'll show it to you
Gary
guys.
Rich says, Seth, what did you learn about your trading for 2019? Don't BS me.
Well,
Winstanza Mom says, Happy New Year, Air Cages.
so I tell you what, Gary. I think that I found a really good edge last year. But that edge has a little bit too much of a drawdown, and so I think that so I learned something that doesn't work per se. I'm kind of a little bit in, like, I'm not sure where I'm going to take it from here, but we're just
Winstanza
gonna.
Mom says, Gary Rich is your year to be rich. Happy New Year.
We're just gonna look at the data and see where it takes us. I think that one of the mistakes that I made was that I wasn't really tracking the data very well. So we need to fix that. I mean, it's a good question, Gary. I mean, I've been through, like, ugh. Last year was a long year, right? Because we had the beginning of the year. I made some mistakes too. So now I got this. Okay. You kind of petered out. So I made one. You can see
Gary
that
Rich says, Seth, do you journal your stuff?
the challenge was to turn around 3 times with your eyes closed and then try and squat. And it's supposed to be hard. Not hard. Anyways, I posted that. And literally within an hour had 2,000 views. I'm like, what the heck? This app is crazy. Anyways, there's this TikTok. I can pull it up over here. Where is it? Yeah, this one right here. Oh, I hope I saved it. Did I not save it? Oh, maybe I didn't save it. Maybe I still have it on my phone. Hold on. No, I don't still have it on my phone. Oh, wait, but we can find it. It's still going to be up there at the top because it was on the For You page. It was so good, guys.
Winstanza Mom says, Ancient Ferret Secret. The first to hit like will have 2020's best duking luck. That looked like a
Best
yoga
duking
pose,
luck?
and it's about balance.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, some of this stuff. I know this guy was saying that this year is the year we have 2020 vision. They were like completely focused on getting the things that you want. So yeah. So do I journal things? I mean, I get the journalytics. I think the danger of having an app like Journalytics,
Winstanza
though,
Mom says 2020 vision, lol, pretty good.
is that you it allows you to be lazy, you know? Because I wasn't tracking like every signal. Was it, you know?
Air Cages says, could it be that TikTok is using viewbots to create the illusion of a bigger user base?
No. So what happens is when you make a video, your video goes out to a certain number of users, no matter what. Because like, here's the thing. YouTube, you click on something, you might not even view it, you know what I mean? Like they can, like on YouTube, if YouTube chooses to show you a video for a recommendation, you'll just see the video as recommended. But on TikTok, you will see the video because they're only like 15 seconds to a minute. So your video is guaranteed to be seen by a certain amount of people. And then if the video does well enough with that group of people, then it moves it out to a larger audience. So what happened with this TikTok was it showed it to that small preview audience, and that was good enough. So then it showed it, that preview audience is about 500 users, I think. Oh, sorry, about 100 users. And that worked. So then it showed it to 1,000 people. So it got viewed by 2,000 people. Oh, I don't see it. I thought I saved it in my notes. I have a bunch of these ones to show you guys, but they're not. Nope. That's so sad.
Gary Rich says, Seth, when I mention journal, I am talking about writing down your plan, setups, trades, and notes about them, not Dear Diary stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing is I have like the stream for that, so I can definitely go back and look at things, but I don't. Oh, well, maybe it's this one. Oh, he took it down. That's what happened. Lame. He probably was getting harassed.
Gary Rich says maybe you need to start.
Yeah, I
Winstanza Mom says, so, you could build a commercial more or less and direct viewers to your channel, here on YouTube. Maybe stand next to an alpaca with or a cat on YouTube, a giant big fake $100 bill.
Yeah, you could. But like the thing is if I took like my intro video when I put that on TikTok, it probably wouldn't get beyond the first 100 or so users. Like they wouldn't be all that interested in it. Although it's kind of crazy because like if they watch all the way through the video, that helps. If they watch the video twice, that helps. If they like and comment on the video, that really helps. They click the link and share it, that helps. Oh, so I'm wondering, can I go in here and I can go...
Winstanza Mom says titles. Does he use titles on TikTok?
Yeah, you get titles, but it doesn't... I don't think that has any effect on anything.
TikTok, new challenge. Put your hands up.
How do I copy? There we go. So it keeps track of if I copy the link. So if I copy the link here for you guys, that'll boost it.
Speculator Sarah says. Eric Cages says, so is TikTok going to be the new Instagram?
Yeah, well, I actually think it could be more than that. So the thing that stands out to me about TikTok is more like Reddit, or in terms of like the kind of community they have and the type of content that they have. It's more like Reddit. It's memes. It's video and audio memes.
Winstanza Mom says, I couldn't get into Instagram. I like the interactive feeling of engaging and then getting a response, or not.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. The thing is, on TikTok, people can comment on your videos, but the comments that you get are kind of... They have to be short, so they're not always the most amazing responses or anything. You know? It's kind of a very... what is the word? You know, it's not a deep level of engagement, but you can make a video and you can record a 1 minute video. So it's interesting to watch because people will they'll make a video that's like, here's my opinion on something. And then if that opinion ends up going viral, and then you get all these people giving counterpoints to it and stuff like that. And so you have like a real conversation going on, but it's very different from what, you know, like your typical argument on Reddit is.
Winstanza Mom says, I am on Instagram,
video.
somewhere under Winstanza Mom, and I dip my toes into their waters. Too meme-ish, which is very NT-pish.
Yeah, but TikTok is all memes, man. Another thing I should consider is that a lot of it learns your viewing preferences. So what I see might not be what you see. I'm sorry.
Eric Cages says, so TikTok is pretty much like the old Vine app.
Yeah, it really is. It's... I mean, I never used Vine, so I don't know what that was like, but... And then there was, what was the one, Musically? But that is TikTok, like it was rebranded. Okay, I'm still watching here. They might reverse.
Winstanza Mom says, what is on your brand new 2020 calendar for this week? What can we expect from this market? I know what the psychics are saying. Lol.
Okay, so as we were getting into earlier, and let me go back into this a little deeper, but um, at the beginning of the month, there tends to be inventory building for, like the dealers and so forth. They have to hedge themselves for the positions that they're going to be holding throughout the month so that they have treasuries on hand to be able to actually to sell to people. Okay. So they have to buy futures to hedge themselves against that. um, so that's why I think you're seeing the buying this morning. But in the longer term, the economy seems to be going well. And if the E-mini continues to move up, which at the moment it is, then we could see some selling pressure in bonds. But you could see there was a little bit of a, yeah. What else was I going to say? So if equities continue to be strong, interesting downtick. If equities continue to be strong, then
Winstanza Mom says, have you read about the mysterious drones flying around rural areas of Colorado and Nevada? Skeet shooting with prizes.
Yeah, is this more UFO stuff? I mean, it sounds to me like there really is something going on there with the UFOs, but I think that they seem to think that it's like they're unmanned vehicles from another country is what is kind of the impression that I'm getting, and they don't know how they're able to be so fast. Like they created a drone and they said, well, we don't have to put a person in this so it can go as fast as we
Air
want.
Cages says, how to channel membership, join button press.
There was a little bit of an increase in activity there when we ticked down.
Winstanza Mom says 16 have been spotted. Someone is playing around and has way too much money. You really wouldn't want to fly a drone down my street. Don is dying to use his 9mm.
Oh man, there's somebody will fly a drone around our neighborhood, but they'll do it at like 2 o'clock at night, and it is loud. It's really loud, and I think I've never been outside to see it, so I don't know like how close it is, but it sounds like I can hear it fly back and forth and stuff. And to me, sitting in my room, it sounds like it's like this huge thing flying like 20 miles an hour or whatever. But
Winstanza Mom says, how rude. Lol, seriously, that late at night.
yeah, I don't know if they realize how loud it is though. But maybe it's flying really close. I don't know. Oh my gosh, my throat is just. I'm gonna try and get a Mucinex here. I didn't take one. I'm just remembering. I feel disorganized today.
CC Trader says, GM all. This market amazes me. Winstanza Mom says yes, this market, this period in time, our history is interesting. Chinese blessing or a curse? May you live in interesting times.
Yeah. So, CC Trader, when you say this market, do you mean this market today or just the market in general over the past little while? I will tell you one thing that I tend to see on days like today, well, in days in the first quarter, is they tend to run more often. Do you get that? So like you'll see a level and it looks like there's going to be some absorption there and this and that, and it will just keep going. Okay, so there's something different is going on here. They definitely ticked up there at 20. Maybe they go for a new high, but they absorbed a lot more on that one than they have been. Look at the E-mini go. When I was looking at the E-mini and it was at 3250, I thought, well, maybe if it got to 49, I could buy it, but they didn't give that to me. They appear to me, though, to be, well, how's this going? Interesting. Waves. You can see waves come in here in the E-mini. Okay. Are they coming in at a certain time? 43, 50. I don't know if they actually are or not. They seem to be at the beginning of the minute, but
Winstanza Mom says my husband went to visit family in New Jersey and stopped by the casino in West Virginia first. I gave him $20 and asked him to play eights. I have not heard how I did yet.
that probably means that you didn't win anything, huh? Or maybe he won something and then he blew it all after. It looks a little stuck here at 20. Like, look, they tick up. Not a whole lot of people are hitting 20 half. A little bit more than that have hit into 20. But they hit an iceberg and healthy bid. Uptick. I was expecting to see some overextension to the upside, but it's not happening.
Winstanza Mom says yes, it probably does mean exactly that. Lol, he has won on my bets before, and usually forgets to mention this. Then later he confesses.
Trying to figure out here if we're done or not. I see a lot of people with ardors up above us. This looks like a level break potential here. The way they've been trending.
RFO Trader says night stall 22.5 area. Winstanzamom says what about Rudy? When you get a second to gather your non-marketing thoughts, can we talk about Rudy? He is going to
Rudy.
take down your president or Bolton might, but Rudy, oh Rudy.
Oh my gosh. He's been saying crazy stuff, hasn't he? I was hearing clicks, but I wasn't seeing it show up over here, and I'm wondering if
Live Action says I used to play poker with Greg Raymer. His wife gave him $1,000 if he lost it he would quit poker. Instead he turned it into millions and also won World Series of Poker big game.
Wow, really? That's an amazing story. Wow. Wow. Finally gets lucky
says,
when
wow.
his wife gave him an ultimatum. Man, his life could have been so much different if, wow. Looks like they're going to go without me. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. See another wave coming in the E-mini.
Jay Constant says hello Bitcoin looking bearish now.
Oh? I haven't looked at it today. A little bit over the past few days, yeah. I know, this usually isn't a very good time of year
Jay
for Bitcoin.
Constant says Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Winstanzamom says when we go to a casino, I go to the jewelry store and decide on a small piece of jewelry from the casino jewelry shop and then I win enough to buy the piece and I quit gambling.
Oh man. So I will put like $10 into a penny slots, and then I will bet the minimum until that's gone, and then that's it. That's as far as I've ever been willing to take it. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a negative time of year for Bitcoin, but it's been acting like it can do anything. And I'm not sure if the end of the year changes any of that, So it kind of looks short to me too, but if I was going to be scalping Bitcoin, I would probably be too afraid to do anything in Bitcoin over the past year, just because it's like, well, they could screw me over at any time they choose. I'm wondering, yeah, it kind of did. So as we came up into this area, they stacked up a little bit here. And so there does appear to be some resistance here. I didn't see what I thought was like a stop run. It's interesting that only 109 have hit into 20 half. Because I suspect that if they really tried to hit into 20 half, that there'd be an iceberg there. They're still acting like they're not going to fill me. So isn't that interesting? I think I did find that TikTok, but the user decided to take it off. I'm so upset. You want to see another TikTok? I'll show you. Here's another one I really liked. This girl, I like her. She says fun stuff. Oh, wait. Wait. I have to unmute this.
An image to maintain.
Wait,
Real
wait.
people,
Let me restart.
genu-
Let me restart.
Fake people have an image to maintain. Real people genuinely just don't give a fuck.
Hmm. Hmm.
Fake
Is
people,
she right? She's right. She's right. If she's right, she's right, guys. You know, I really liked that one though because it was like, oh, I don't like that I got filled the way that I did. But because I kind of almost feel like it's like a, it's, um, like maybe she's saying it as a,
Winstanza Mom says speculator Seth, I wonder if there is an MBTI
I bet you
TikTok?
there probably is.
Try ENTP TikTok, they are creatives.
I bet you there
RFO
probably
Trader
is.
says if I was going long I'd be waiting for a sell to at least 19s.
Yeah, the way that I got filled was not good, right? The way that was on 20 was a little better. But now that it's doing that, this makes me think that this is maybe that area. I wanted to reverse it. I don't know. We'll see. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, I think it was more of a challenge of like, this is the way that you want to be. Because if you're real, then you don't have to worry about keeping up appearances, right? Because there's some people out there lie about how they trade, and then that controls them because they have to keep that persona up. Don't be that. Just be honest with people, and then you don't have to care because you can just be you all the time. There you go. You're curious. Seems a little insistent there at 20.5. There's some
Winstanza Mom
activity at
says, do you
20.
know what ASMR is, speculator Seth?
Yeah.
People speaking in hushed tones and crinkling things in front of their mic?
Yeah. My ex-wife was really into that. Okay. See, that was more like what I wanted to happen. It's still working it too.
Dojo says creepy sounds.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that it's a thing. I think that they've tried doing a little bit of research about it, but I'm really skeptical on whether or not it's actually a thing. 5-year ticked up there, but it didn't hold it. And he might be trying to get a little bit of push and pull going on there, and they didn't go with it. And there's this cell in the E-mini.
Winstanza Mom says I think it's a bit creepy also. It makes me itch like techno music is itchy.
Techno music is itchy, huh? Okay. This is a good pullback in the E-mini. And at an odd time as well. I was thinking about taking our trade like that we take with Ace at the top of the hour. But I felt like, the pressure for the day was up. And then we had that push down. That's maybe the move that we would be looking for. So I don't think that I have a trade over there. Hmm. I don't know, like the sensations that they talk about with ASMR. I understand that, but in terms of it being this like real psychological phenomenon that has serious health benefits and all this sort of stuff, that just sounds like nonsense to me, you know? And there's no, especially since they can't even scientifically prove that it's a thing. Okay, so that was a significant stack when they ticked at 20. Yeah. Okay.
Gary Rich says farts can't be scientifically proven, but it's a thing.
Oh, dude. That was like right to where the month was. Okay. See what's going on here now. They're not going to let you in on that one either.
Our FO trader says looking for a scalp long 17 area, though my timing perspective seems off today. Two good calls and hesitated missing both trades London session.
Seems to me like the market makers are pretty active at the moment. Look at that. So that again, if you get filled on the limit, that's what you want to see, right? Pretty good hit into it, and they couldn't clear it.
Jay Constant says if Bitcoin would go down a $1,000, will the alts go down in Satoshi then also?
Yeah, I mean, probably. At least as lately, the whole market has been moving the same way, right? Where's my... Okay. Well,
Jay
they're able to
Constant
make my
says when
price go
Bitcoin
bid.
pumps a $10,000 dollar, then the alts will lose SAT value because they can't keep up. Jay Constant says but down may be different.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, if bitcoins were able to make a run towards the 20,000 again, which again I'm really skeptical about, or I would suspect as being manipulation because the blockchain just doesn't have enough capacity to carry out transactions to keep things above 20,000. But I digress. If when they go down, they all go down. So, if there was another run towards, that's what I was saying. If there was another run towards 20K, then I wouldn't be surprised to see at some point another one of those altcoin rushes like we saw in 2017. But for the time being, though, it seems like they only care about Bitcoin again, you know? Like Bitcoin dominance is increased and stuff like that. And I'm kind of the mind, Bitcoin has to make a change or somebody else has to
Jay
step up for
Constant
that to
says
go.
yes down in dollar, yes, but Satoshi also.
You mean Bitcoin dominance could increase? That you might be right, yeah. You might have a good theory there, Jay Constant. So I don't own any altcoins except for Garlic Coin, of course. But I still watch. What I did was when I got out of everything, I left my positions the way that they were so that I could see how much money I saved myself by getting out. And the altcoins compared to Bitcoin have just been getting worse and worse and worse. And when they go down, it seems like that there is a loss in interest or confidence of the whole blockchain cryptocurrency idea in general, and the people that are like true believers seem to all be in Bitcoin itself or Bitcoin Cash, but the Bitcoin Cash just doesn't have enough of the casual people to hold that. Okay, so that's some real absorption there at 18.5. But it ticks down. ZB missed the week's open 156.24 by 6 ticks. This move down, I think that we got to get below where the first noise was at 17.5. But if we get below 17.5, then I would say that up move was a really big failure. But of course, they come to 18 and slow down a little bit. I'm seeing a spike here.
Gary Rich says, Seth, do you remember our discussion on Bitcoin long time ago when you started your data stuff on it?
You have to be more specific than that, Gary. I do vaguely remember talking to you a lot about it back in 2017, though. So that one right there was actually a no signal, but it was really hard to see because it was making a new bar.
Gary Rich says we concluded that Bitcoin would rise when?
Was it after the halvening? Man. Oh, I muted the wrong thing. That's funny.
Pigs fly.
When pigs fly? I don't know. They haven't happened, right? I think we're close, but we're not quite there yet.
Gary Rich says more people get into it. That's the key.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the thing is I don't think that there's any good way to get a really good handle on what the everyday person thinks about Bitcoin now. Did the collapse in 2017 really affect people's confidence in it? Because I remember when we were up there and I was saying, well, if this pattern continues, this is what you'll see. But there's the possibility that they're not able to make a new high again because the public is done with it. And I don't know if that's happened or not. Okay.
JB says no, it just made them all regret not getting into it when it first started.
Maybe.
Gary Rich says it shook them hard, the MKT cap dropped.
Yeah. Like when it was up there, this time of year, well, not this time of year, but really, it was really November of 2017, where like all of my people on Facebook, like my raver friends and stuff, were talking about it. And I'm like, this is just so stupid. Like I've got go-go dancers talking about investing in Bitcoin. Like that is not right. But the thing is I don't think that they got everybody. I think that they got the millennials really hard, but I don't think that they ever got into like the real money, like the boomers and stuff. I don't know if they ever will. Yeah, they're fiddling around here quite a bit. I don't know. My position seems okay. Kind of got a little bit of a move here. Or some pressure here, rather, but then it released really, really quickly. I haven't seen a whole lot of really big aggressive icebergs today either in the 10-year.
JB says my 30 years old son reminds me all the time that I told him to not invest in Bitcoin, boomer versus millennial.
He thinks
Gary
that he
Rich
could have
says
been rich by
long-term
now.
blockchain will be real, not replaced, but alongside other means. Wait till hash graph hedera comes, it's gonna be good.
I have to look that up. I haven't heard of that. The one thing I will say is this whole thing about like what is it? Lightning Network? Man, everything was about Lightning Network in 2017 and how close it was, and it's still not out, and they still have problems with capacity.
JB says he sure does.
And I feel like if you go back and you watch my first stream, it's the most viewed video on my channel. I was dead right about fucking everything. I don't think I will ever be more right about something in my life. But I hit that one right on the head. Yeah. Well, but the problem with that, JB, is that it sounds to me like he doesn't want to invest in Bitcoin. It sounds to me like he wants to trade it. Because otherwise you would, you still want to be in it. I mean, come on. Ew. Ew. I can't imagine being somebody that bought in 2017 and then still being in. Like, that would be... I wouldn't feel very good. Especially if it was a significant sum of money. Maybe if it was $20, but...
JB says even when I suggest he might not have been able to capitalize on an early investment due to problems in the early tracking systems.
Sure. Well, I wish that I had done like mining and stuff like that in the early days. So I knew about it in the early days, but I always just, every time that it moved, it was like, okay, I know what's going on here. Okay, we're getting something here.
Gary Rich says I still own it.
We're getting something here. This kind of looks like the move that scares you out, you know? No, that's not what we want. Like when I said this looks like the move that scares me out, like this looks like the move that I'll get into a position and it's a good one, and then it moves against me and I freak out and exit it, and then as soon as I exit it, they turn back down. Let's see if they even tick down. 5-year sure looks pointed down. Man, if the 5-year takes that 21 there, whew.
Gary Rich says I want to own Ethereum, but it won't drop to the price I want to pay.
Yeah, and I've also, that's been one of the things that surprised me the most in the downturn was that Ethereum didn't really become more popular. Like in 2017, it was like the thing, right? A big stack at 19. What's with that? Mm-hmm. That might be a really good sign for us. Let's see what happens. It's always hard for me to know what these are going to actually do, especially when you see a stack in kind of an area that's kind of been fighting a bit, you know? Do I still have... Hmm. Ain't through that. Something is making that sound that is not supposed to. Okay, well, they hit through my price.
Gary Rich says you see the list of world banks applying blockchain in a form of Ethereum technology in their systems.
What is that? Oh, this is the move they're preparing for the E-mini to open. Yeah, I don't even have the audio file set for that one, so what's clicking? So does that mean that my output window is doing it? Where are you? I will find you. Hmm. So I'm hearing clicks and it's not outputting. I'm so confused. Okay, well, they're definitely gearing up for something. But I think that this is all just the E-mini open. They want me. I am so confused. Not about the market action, about my. Okay, well, I gotta look at some things here. What the heck is my tape pinging and just not?
Lucas says S is not making you any favors.
No, it's not. I just don't see how, because this right here, I don't have the click in there. So I don't see how that could be making the sound. And see, I haven't gotten a new thing. There's one. Let's see if I close this, does it go away? No, it does not. Oh, I know what it is. Yes. Aha. It was in another workspace. Okay. First wave in the E-mini was down.
Winstanza mom says very quiet now as I peek back in. Let it go. Can sexy robot voice sing Disney?
I almost choked to death there. It's tense. It's tense when we're not sure what equities are going to do for the year here. And the treasury's moving up is a little bit concerning. It's interesting. Remember, I said I think we need to be below
Winstanza
17.
mom says, oh, Seth, I had 2 tabs open. One was a TED Talks. Lol, hence the let it go. Sorry.
Oh. Anyways, I said like below 17.5, and we never got there. And now, what was the maximum that I got on that? Like 1? I got 1 favorable tick on that? Man.
Lucas says at Winstanza mom, what was the talk about?
You know what I see, though. Nope, I don't want to pay up.
Winstanza mom says the unstoppable power of letting go.
Well, there's my 2 ticks. I missed it.
Winstanza mom says, Lucas, I have been listening to TED Talks about energy frequency vibration.
Well, that's the move that I wanted. I think that I should.
Lucas says, can you read the market applying that underscore?
I'm really disappointed I missed that trade. And given that wave there, well, what does that give us? I don't know.
Winstanza mom says Tesla said the key to understanding the universe is energy frequency vibration. So in theory, yes, Lucas, because energy frequency vibration are math.
Okay, that looks like a stop run. If it had just been the 23, then it would be for sure a short, but
Lucas says I was about to pull the trigger right there, but we have PMI in a few minutes.
No, do we?
Winstanzamom says we know there are traders who use the mean ratio or the golden spiral to find the patterns in ticks and talks. Lucas says at Winstanzamom interesting.
52.5 is the reading that we're looking for the final manufacturing PMI. I'm really not sure what to make of this. Spot here. Like, I would have liked to have taken that long in the E-mini, but I think I would have taken it off at like 32.50. So, where does that take me? Like, could I take it long here again? I think that you'd be FOMO buying it out. I don't think that I would get a very good spot.
Winstanzamom says yes, interesting. I have begun by simply trying to understand frequency and its effects on me. For example, I noticed odd frequencies when I watch certain channels, lol screeching. So I meditate.
Okay.
Winstanzamom says just to see what the effects are, and they have been amazing. 20 minutes a day is the best tranquilizer I have found, and I took yoga for years.
So that takes us green now. Again. E-mini. A little bit deeper of a down move.
Winstanzamom says Lucas, look at how the earliest man used drums to work up their spirits or to get men ready for war. Frequency and vibration produces energy. The right beats produce the energy you want to direct. Lucas says Seth, what's your take on this strength we are seeing today? Why buy so hard so much?
Build inventory for the start of the month and the year. Maybe there could be more to it. I don't know.
Live Action says Seth, do you find those volume areas hold on your heat map?
So at the beginning of the year, no. So just think about where we've been here, where there's been a couple of levels here that had some pretty big offers, or they ran into some resistance, and they'll kind of dawdle around and then they'll just blow right through it. And we'll tend to see breakouts like that a lot more at the beginning of the year. It doesn't mean that they'll go up all day in the treasuries, just
Winstanzamom says I am heading off to listen a bit more. Maybe I'll tap into some money energy and direct it over here. If you say my name, I should notice. 19 watching now. Please hit like.
Thank you for that one. They didn't quite break that high there in the E-mini. Maybe they go for it again.
Lucas says at Winstanzamom I will use drums to stay in trades forward. JB says frequency can't produce energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be measured and it can be harnessed.
There you go.
Winstanza Mom says bongos. Lucas needs bongos. Boom, boom, boom. Live Action says hit like and give thumbs up. Oops, wrong finger. Grinning face with big eyes.
Okay, so I think that the e-minis are going to work this out, but I don't know if they're going to work it out on my terms.
Winstanza Mom says JB, I am so newish to this that I can't respond with any degree of accuracy, but look at energy equal mass times squared and Einstein did on the train leaving the clock behind. I will Google your quote.
There you go. This is a lot of volume there in the treasuries though, right? That's like, this is what I'm saying, like right here, it's all this volume. You might think, okay, this is where I sell it. Maybe. I mean, that was a third wave. But I'm just saying, like, this time of year, they have a tendency to run. Unfortunately, I think for me today, I think I've just been way too cautious on the treasuries. Because I never got a good price. I always got the edges and didn't catch the right direction. Which is a little weird. Because it is running, so I don't know why I wasn't able to find my spots. And then I even took some longs. Obviously not the best long. The best long was down here. Did you trade the ZV Seth? Yummy first run, 6-6 second run is Forrest Gump.
Live Action says it can be tough jumping on an established move. I did think about getting in last night. Should woulda.
Shoulda woulda.
Winstanza Mom says the first law of thermodynamics states that heat is a form of energy, and thermodynamic processes are therefore subject to the principle of conservation of energy. Thanks JB, learning now.
Okay, well, the E-minis seem to be, like, calming down now.
Lucas says pulling.
Look, there's the news.
Lucas says PMI.
Yeah, the PMI. What do we got? 52.4, so just slightly under expectation. By 1 point, which is insignificant. So pretty much in line. What is that on a relative basis? It's okay. It's just kind of an average number.
Lucas says pretty much yeah.
Yeah. So now that they've got that out of the way, well, the treasuries seem to be pointing down again.
RFO trader says interested in a buy scalp if sellers take us to 22 area.
Yeah, I can see that one. For sure, right? Like right here. In this 22
Gary Rich
was where
says
we
at
had
Winston's
that
mom, you are geeking me out. I'm so dumb.
Like we had that good impulse in there at 22. So that would be a really good spot for the treasuries to revisit and have some more, messing around, trying to get me short down in there and then take me higher again. Something like that. Okay, so there's the E-mini about to finally break a new high. Yep.
Winstanza Mom says time is the fourth dimension. I will turn back the geekiness. Lol Gary Rich.
Look at them go in the treasuries. What's the deal? I know what the deal is, but I just keep looking at that and I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Winstanza Mom says dumb, you are not. Our Gary of Rich. RFO Trader says yeah, called 22s on the way up for a stall, then to 17s for a short to get long, missed it again.
And on the volume profile where they just got to, they beat out the previous day. I don't know. Like the problem is in the treasuries is that we're still in a really crowded area on the longer term chart, right? So we beat this high right here from the holidays, but we've still got all of this above us, like all the way up to 129. And they could fall short and turn back down anywhere in here. And the question is, what's the impetus for buying? Is the impetus for buying just the seasonal stuff, like that they tend to buy at the beginning of the month and the beginning of the year and all that for inventory? If it is, then we might not be able to get a short scalp today, but you could swing it short. But I could be dead wrong, and there could be a real reason that they're buying the treasuries up. Maybe based on the Federal Reserve saying that there's not going to be any interest rate changes here, perhaps we are too tight and the treasuries need to move back up a little bit or something. I don't know. Although that's not right because they were pricing in a rate cut, and there's not going to be a rate cut this year. At least we don't think so. So then why buy?
RFO Trader says I have 129.5 area in my homework if buyers take it up.
Well, I could have taken an early profit there in the E-mini, but no. Well, that looks good. And that doesn't look good.
Gary Rich says sometime this year the 10 years will go to 2% to 2.25%. It's going to occur.
What are we at right now? We're much higher than that, aren't we? Oh, that sucks.
Gary Rich says 1.8%.
Oh, okay. I always think about the mortgage rates, but I
Live
forget that
Action
those are
says I have on
higher.
S3252, 3257, 3260.
Now they're testing the open again on the E-mini. I had an okay trade there in the E-mini. It just didn't quite turn out the way I wanted. It's okay. We got a good spot. We had good risk reward. We got a lot of favorable excursion on it. I wish that I could have gotten out at a good spot, but it's okay. We took the trade we wanted to make. And they might give us a good long here again, to be honest. Odd little move right there in the treasury.
RFO Trader says it S strong. I'm off by about 2 ticks on retests. I'm usually on point with them.
Let's see here. And 24 half
Lucas
is a pretty
says
good
screen.
extension. Oh yeah, sorry. 24 half is a pretty big. Like they're doing. See this right here. Like I keep trying to catch this one right here. 24 half you buy, and that one hasn't been working out. Does appear to be some support with the open on the E-mini, but I think sellers will try harder than that.
Lucas says really how much higher can this keep on going?
I don't know. Well,
Lucas says
I'm
where's the
wondering,
exhaust point?
can I draw a good line here now? I don't know. Like
Gary
my
Rich says the big funds are short the long end of the curve. If the 30 gets to high yield wise, the Fed will buy more of MBS to push the 30 years slightly down. Rinse repeat never fails.
what I'm looking at kind of suggests that we could still get to 129 area. I don't know. Like that seems really far away, right? I don't think that that's reliable. Just trying to draw out where like stop orders would be and so forth. U.S. manufacturing PMI disappoints as hope for rebound falters, quote unquote, even though it was in line with expectations, huh? Okay, well, that's what Zero Hedge says. I don't see the E-mini like selling here, but so when you get that, then you know.
Lucas says I don't remember big firms being so active buying or selling like this on 2th January.
Really? You know, I don't remember necessarily on the very first day of the year, but I we always see a lot of activity at the beginning of the year in treasuries. This is the best time of year, in my opinion. From all of the stats and everything that I've looked at, the best time to trade is the beginning of the year. What I find interesting is just how clean the pullbacks and everything are in the 10-year. It seems
Lucas
like
says I hope they would take the whole week and maybe come on Monday.
it seems like the tape hasn't been terribly accurate today. But the if you're just going off of like your chart and counting the pullbacks, it's great. Hmm. It's quite a bit of back and forth in the E-mini right there at the point of control at 32.49. Hmm.
Gary Rich says look, the trade wars if dropped are not going to get us tremendous growth. We need to accept we are going to stagnate for 2020, slight recession in third QTR this year. Unless we get a 2 trill stimulus. Winstanzamam says Lucas, JB string theory is a field of study that is disputing the Big Bang theory or Genesis, lol.
Hmm.
Gary Rich says if the stimulus comes maybe it delays a slight recession till 4th QTR.
You notice
Winstanzamam says Michio Kaku, the universe is a symphony of vibrating strings is a terrific video. Brian Greene does a string theory video that I think demonstrates neat introverted intuition perfectly. Lucas, you can.
there the level break trade again failing.
Winstanzamam says learn to geek in 3-minute videos by watching the Big Bang Theory and or Brian Greene's videos.
And look, here's another, just like we had on the downside here, here's another pretty big stack at 24 that's not following through on anything. It's not click.wave, it's chirp.wave. There we go.
Gary Rich says I don't make these calls based on some voodoo crap. I am a global macro person.
If stimulus comes, which is interesting because it seems like the Federal Reserve doesn't think that they need to do anything, right?
Home One says say culch broker mi scriva su Instagram momo _21_12_.
Well, I have no clue what that is, but that looks like spam.
Chris Kivik says Happy New Year PPL.
Hey, thank you. Okay, so significant downtick in the treasuries. I kind of suspected.
Gary Rich says stimulus by our politicians. Trump mentioned a $2 trillion infrastructure bill last year.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen
Winstanzamom
this
says
year.
Happy New Year. Chris Kivik, is that a Polish surname nod?
There's no way that they get anything done before the election.
Chris Kivik says yes, grinning face with big eyes.
Excuse me. Wow.
Gary Rich says wanna make a bet on the $2 trillion infrastructure bill. Winstanzamom says my father's name was Polish, also.
I'm thinking here, Gary. I mean, I suppose if the economy really starts to stall here, the thing is I think you're right in that based off of what we've been seeing in the treasuries, if there's going to be a slowdown, it's going to be in the third quarter.
Chris Kivik says Super WM grinning face with big eyes.
Because that seems to be where the treasuries were predicting it would be. But I'm a little skeptical that we're actually going to have like a full-on thing, you know? Like I expect that because the trade deal seems to be positive, that people will start investing again.
He campaigned on it. $1 trillion.
Yeah, he definitely wanted the pack. I thought, my opinion was that should have been the first thing that he worked on. But they went for the tax rehaul instead, which, wasn't needed, but I think that they expended a little bit too much political capital on that. Yeah, I could try this one more time, but there's a big offer at 25 now in the treasury.
Gary Rich says we got both infrastructure and tax cuts.
What was the infrastructure that we got? It definitely wasn't like the big bill that they want. Man, I don't know, man. A lot of Republicans would be really upset if he took a huge infrastructure bill out right now. I have no doubt that he has every intention of just leaving the bill as big as possible for the next guy. So he doesn't think it matters.
Gary Rich says it was spread amongst all the states. Jada45 says hey, currently trading right now and happen to see this live. Happy New Year.
Hey,
Jada45 says what's up, chat.
But what do you trade, Shadow? Shadow. Is that the right way to say it? With a little bit of a z? Shadow.
Stocky says hey man, trading in the Forex markets RN and my friend found your channel. I hope you are having a great new year.
Oh,
Gary Rich says are you kidding me? Republican are not fiscal conservatives anymore 3.
There's no
says currency futures.
I mean, there's definitely fiscal conservatives out there, but I think people were kidding themselves if they thought that Donald Trump was.
Ninja Trader right now as well.
You use NinjaTrader? Yeah, I really like NinjaTrader. I mean, I really like Jigsaw. So maybe I'll go into this more tomorrow. But there was somebody giving me some grief because we made a video about what I use, and I use NinjaTrader 8 and Jigsaw. And so I went to them, and a NinjaTrader cannot give you like affiliate links or anything because they're a broker. But Jigsaw could. So Jigsaw gave me a link. So if you use, in fact, I'll go and find it. Where's the link? It's over here in our Discord. So here's my link. If you buy Jigsaw with this link, I make some money. All right. In full disclosure. So they were saying, well, he's a Jigsaw affiliate. It was all he's a Jigsaw affiliate. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am. I'm quite proud of it because I think that Jigsaw is good software and I support software that I use and like. But for me, the whole thing about Jigsaw is it's execution, like if I want to click somewhere and I want a specific price here, I mean, of course you can do it in NinjaTrader, right? You can come in here and if you have the chart trader on, you right click. Oh, here I turn on the chart trader. I'll keep it hidden. Then you get this by, sure that you can do that, but it's like 2 clicks. I don't like it. I like to be able to see in here, okay, this is how many they're putting at every price. Maybe I can get here. Cool. That's way better for me. It's just an execution platform, and they were saying, well, it's a scam, and I'm like, well, it's just a tool, guys. How can a tool that is effective at entering orders be a scam? Exactly. That's just silly. They must not understand what it even does. But so I really like Jigsaw, but you can get by with just NinjaTrader. I don't think I could get by without. I don't think I could get by without both of them.
Jada45 says that kind of information would be incredibly useful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, being able to see the bid and offer exactly where you're clicking, I think is useful. I mean, you can put one of those on the charts, but it's a lot harder to read, right? I guess you can really make anything work in any setup that if you really want to, right? But yeah, it is kind of like, when you see somebody using NinjaTrader that they're doing serious trading, right? That was kind of where I was going with that. I know some people.
JB says not really. Stocky says, so what all do you consistently trade?
So I'm
Gary
only
Rich
trading.
says nothing wrong with getting a little taste as affiliate. Everyone needs to wet their taste. Mafia Seth.
Sure. I mean, I'm gonna say if you use that link and you buy Jigsaw, the amount that I get, I don't think I can tell you what it is. It's not a trivial amount. We'll just say, okay. But I've only had a few people click it. But it's from my perspective, it's more. My thing is like, I'm a software guy, like I've developed software. I understand. In fact, I went and I made my own tape. I was going and looking at making a reconstructed tape, and I did make one, but I'm only aggregating by time. When you look at all the things that the Jigsaw reconstructed tape does, it's actually quite amazing. It's actually quite amazing, the algorithms that they use to reconstruct the tape. And I can recognize good software. And so that's one of the things that I want to give is like, if I'm using something and then people ask me about it all the time anyways, then why not have a link that makes it easier for them to use it, and that helps the developer of the good software to see, where people are coming from and stuff. So they were kind of trying to shame me for being a Jigsaw affiliate. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, Peter Davies is one of the best, most trustworthy guys in the industry. I am so proud to say that if you're going to call me an affiliate, I mean, I don't think that they call it like that, but well, man, I'm just not doing so hot in the E-mini today. I think that I'm just a little bit too tight and I want it long and they don't want to go long.
Jerry is awake says I like NT8 easy to write scripts.
Oh yeah. I mean, Ninja Trader is head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of writing stuff for it, in terms of programming.
Gary Rich says if it reduces your jigsaw fees, who cares? Screw the haters.
Right. Yeah, that's the one thing that bothers me about Jigsaw currently. Yeah, there you go. There's my stop. Is that did I get worse than? No, I got exactly what I wanted. It's okay. They to trade it live, you're paying like $50 a month, which is actually reasonable when you look at what other software is and things like that. But they're also increasing the price. When I bought it, it was like $500 or something. So the two of those things together, I kind of don't like, but it is what it is. It's still the best DOM. Jigsaw is. If you like executing off of a DOM, Jigsaw is the only way to do it, I say. Not the only way to do it, but the best way to do it. It's the best gig in town. Well, the treasuries did take a step up there. Now that the E-mini is pushing down a little bit, this is starting to look really bearish, doesn't it? I'm tempted now to turn around and try and sell it, but I think I've already done enough in the E-mini today, so I'll come back tomorrow and see if I any more on. That first one was a good trade, but these other two didn't work out very well. This one, MAE. Yeah. But I got MAE 11 on that one. Isn't that? Yeah. It sucks. It's not what I want. Seems like the only good trade here was really just buying.
Gary Rich says no free lunch anymore. Gotta pay up for better platforms, software, data, etc. JB says FTC on all time frames in the ZB now that price is above the week's open at 156.24.
Yeah. That is super hard to try and fade. Like, maybe the treasuries are done, but I don't think that I'd be catching a whole lot if I was going short in the treasuries, right? Unless somehow the E-mini like just completely flips around and like buys up 10 points in one sweep or something. I'm wondering, so let's look back at my signals, right? So we got one here. It was actually pointed down when this one happened right here. And they immediately flipped back up. So like, well, let me go like really deep in. Can you see it? They were ticking down and everybody got agitated and thought, hey, maybe we can sell it and it's going to go down here. And it looks like a bunch of retail traders did. And it immediately flipped on them and went higher. So then we got this one down here. That was a similar sort of thing. They were going down. Now this one was where there was some stacking. So there was some stacking and everybody got involved there. But again, it was up. The result was up. Like every time that we saw a signal, regardless of where it was a buy, which is kind of funny, right? Oh, man.
JB says ZB has had TFC on the hourly and daily time frames since 5:55 Eastern Time this morning.
Now I'm wondering here. So hold on, I want to fix one of my charts here. So that it's a little easier for me to see. Let me change these back to...
JB says for those that don't know, TFC equals time frame continuity.
Right. So we'll take a look at those in a second. bar. There we go. So over here. So here in the E-mini, they were kind of selling. And then on the day, they were positive. And then here they went down. So like we got out here. So we took that one. That one didn't turn out. Then that one didn't turn out either. And now they're selling. Now, how far can they go on the sell? I think we kind of have to just wait and see where they go. Now in the treasuries, you can see here just early in the day, they're just buying, right? We could take it from here. Like, I was wondering earlier, okay, like, where can I draw a line, right? Probably this one right here. Even then, it doesn't really seem to help me. I don't know. There's definitely some sort of an expansion pattern going on here, but kind of a tough one to call in terms of how far this is going to go.
Gary Rich, you should let me wet my beak a little. I hear you and your friends cleared $600 each. Give me $200 each for your own protection, and I'll forget the insult, Godfather.
But then notice that they went green for like 2 bars, and then they turned back down around. But then that was all they were able to get, so they pushed them up again higher. I wonder. Come back over here. There was finally
Gary
a
Rich
spike.
says that big is big. Lol.
There was finally a spike on the upside. So maybe they are done. I don't know. But look, how many times did this happen? 1, 2, let's not count this one. 3, 4, 5 times. And, okay, well, this one was in the middle of a range. And it went with the momentum of the day. This one, every time that happened, they ended up going higher, basically. This one you might have been able to say would have been a sell, but again, it went higher. But now this one is clearly up at a peak. So that one, it was clearly an overextension. So are they going to sell it now? No, who would call me at this time? Hold on a second. Just the scammer. A real scammer. Trying to get me to buy car insurance, supplementary car insurance of some sort. Now, the thing, though, is if that one is an overextension, say at 27, you get 2 to 4. There's a stack right there at 25 half. So maybe that's all it gets on the upside, and then maybe they could come back again. Although I would have to say that this is really like, what? 1, 2, 3. Or sorry. Really, this is the first wave, right? 1, 2, 3. Maybe this is the third wave, but I think that they're probably close. Of the individual bar? I'm pretty short time frame, but I think I'm looking to make changes, So the thing is I have this edge, like just this thing that I'm explaining to you right now, right? It seems to work pretty good. I mean, that one was a good read. My read on it was good. It's kind of hard. You have to be watching it to know which way it's actually taking it when you see them, but when you look at them on the chart, you can't necessarily tell sometimes. It's very subtle, right? Like here, the bar was red. You see, we were coming down. We were coming down, and basically what happened was a bunch of retail traders took shorts there. And then when they ticked back up, that's when I knew that it was like, oh, okay, it's going to be like that today, huh? But I haven't been able to keep my risk reward on it correct. So like when the drawdowns on that one happens, they're too deep for me. So I'm thinking about maybe, well, first of all, I have some extra stuff on my charts and stuff to see, to do a little bit more investigation into it, taking some stats and so forth. Maybe then I turn around and change it based off of what I learn. But I'm also thinking that maybe I just need to take it a little bit smaller. But if I'm going to, I don't want to be in a trade more than maybe 30 minutes. And I only trade these first 2 hours. So, but here's the thing. This is like something that's again, it's been coming up because there's been some drama and we don't want to give, I'm like, no nonsense. I'm not give people attention. I don't quite understand, Gary, but I could certainly program it. But you would need to define it a little bit better. But anyways, there's people out there that are like, oh yeah, we're winning and we win all of the time and yeah. So you go and you look at their strategy. They're taking like literally 1 point out of the E-mini, and they're risking like 4 points to make it. Right? So is that like really a strategy that's going to have a positive expectancy in the long run? Maybe if you win 95% of the time, which you probably aren't. And sure enough, I knew some people that were taking that one. Like I warned him against it, and he did it anyways. And yeah, eventually the reckoning came, and he lost a ton of money off of it because it was like, hey, I'm winning all the time. Well, yeah, because you're only taking a tick. Doesn't actually mean that there was edge in it. Because it's gonna, by the time that you realize that there's not edge in it, you're gonna be too deep. But the market changes, right? You might have an edge, and then the next year you might not have an edge. Like if you have a trading record, very few people post trading records, but if you have a trading record and it says that you were profitable in 1 month 2 years ago, who fucking cares? Or were you profitable in 2019? Can you show me in 2019? That's the only year that I really care about right now. And will you be profitable in 2020? Because you might not. Like past performance is not indicative of future results, right, guys? So here on my perspective, yeah, I lost money last year. Not going to lie. I was doing really great. I was really happy with how we were doing up until December. And then it all fell apart for me, right? That means, I only had so much data for it. That means that the strategy wasn't quite where we thought it was. And so we got to go back to the drawing board and change more things. It's like a constant process. And anybody that sits around and tells you oh, we're always winning, we're always going to win, is lying to you. Because nobody can say that they're always going to win. Everybody is going to have an unprofitable year at some point. There's never was a successful trader that was profitable every year they traded. Kind of looking at this still. So do you see how it was there was the overextension, only 2 ticks? I called it correctly that time, but it seemed like when I was trading it that I didn't always catch that. But maybe that's just the case because today is very, very clearly a trend day up, right? Right. Exactly. I mean, look at the one that I took. The E-mini. Of course, I took another one when things started going bad. and I didn't lose too much, so it's okay. But that one, I got 11 ticks favorable. It is, you're right. Anyways, but I got 11 ticks on that. And like it hardly ever went, it didn't go against me until I took it off. So like we got a really good spot with order flow. But you're right. Like there are certainly trading strategies I've seen where you can have a stop that's a little bit bigger than your risk if it's a super high probability trade. But 4 times? No. No. You're just catching noise. So on the strict time to trade, I agree that it is a hard challenge, but I still think it's doable. Like, I really don't think that a whole lot of good trade happens after 9:30. So there's like that 1 hour more that I wish I could trade because sometimes I get good reads about where it's going to go. Right now, it looks like that they want a little bit higher. Maybe they really do make that 129 after all. Man, if I tell you what, John. So where did you draw your lines? Because I'll come over here and I'll show you. So we're talking about expanding formations. And so I'm looking for like where was a place where it was really quiet and then there was some sort of expansion move up and down, right? So I'm looking at this one and I think that it's somewhere right here. So in the 10-year, I'm doing it on a 15-minute right here. Okay. So that's the expanding pattern that I see. And I did it and I'm like, well, let me bring this in a little bit. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's going to happen because that would mean that they're going to make it to 129. And that just seems like too far away. So if they get to 129, then I'm definitely like, okay, hold on a second. This is not something that I know if there's really, like, we haven't been able to conclusively prove that there's like a serious edge in this. Some of the stuff that we've been testing with it shows a very small edge that is useful. But yeah, I don't know. If it makes it to 129, that's going to be super interesting. You think it could get there, JB? Or do you think that, or let's do it on the 30-year, because JB is more familiar with the 30-year, right? I'm just going to delete these lines, and I'll change this to a 30-year. Okay. I don't know. No reason particularly, I guess. So it seems to me like we're talking probably somewhere in here. What's that? And there's the expansion. I'm going to go on that little falling star. or sorry, that hammer down there. Okay, yeah, it's the same pattern. But then that puts us all the way up to that price level we were kind of looking at, 157.08 area. And I look at that and I'm just like, that's really far away. It seems really far away. I mean, that's like 157.08 is actually only 6.6, so maybe it's not that far away anymore. But in the beginning, it was really far away. So if that's where it goes to, then yeah, totally, yeah. So the pattern that we're looking for here, Gary, is there's an assumption that there will always, well, we're trying to look at 14. Sure. Yeah, right? Last time I reset my DOM was at 25, really? Well, yeah. It was like the market, but so here's my opinion on that, Shadow, is that when money is coming into markets, um it's a lot easier to make money scalping. And my particular market in the 10-year, which is what I was really trading the most at the time, money was coming out, and I think that's why things got so hard for me. But the market has changed on me too. Like, I'm looking at this one. I don't know. Like, this one is hard because I never really caught a good spot. There was some level breaks, but it's not pushing up the way that I like to see them push up. I'm wondering if maybe I need to pull up a 6J. Where is the 6J? Yeah. That would have helped, probably. That would have really helped. I need to reorganize this chart. Like, I think that I should have it like this. And I have like that one like there. And then I can have my 60-minute. I don't even know if I need that one up. Yes. And I really didn't think that the trade war thing was going to happen. So that was also another thing that killed me. I think I'm going to keep it like that at least, because I really need to see the currency correlation to be able to read the order flow correctly, and I haven't been paying attention to it since I changed my chart. But the idea is that there's always going to be some sort of expansion, and the expansion is caused by everybody getting stopped out. So here you can see it quite clearly. There was one to the upside and then one to the downside. And then when they tried pushing down again, they weren't able to make it far enough. These guys, so that at that point, the sellers were exhausted, and then you end up with this. So the theory is that they should continue going up until all of the shorts have been stopped out, which should be somewhere around where this line, somewhere past this line. Because probably will be past this line simply because more people have gotten involved in the market. Right? And then you come back over here and you say, okay, here's a good spot to get in. Here's a good spot to get in. Here's a good spot to get in. But you have to know which way it's going to go. If you have to know today is a trend day up, so I want to buy it. I had no clue what they were going to do today, so read it as a long, and I took some longs. That's the funny thing is that I tried buying it at 20. Where did I buy it? Yeah, oh, that was bad. See, I'm so dumb, guys. You know what? It's just I'm a little sick, so that's part of it. But I tried. I was looking at it up in there. I thought that they were gonna do that. But they went a little bit further. I think that I'm going in on I don't know. Why did I get up in there? That doesn't really make sense. Shouldn't have been trying to get in until down here. It seems to me, after looking at it now, that I did not trade my strategy the way that I wanted to trade it today. So I'm not quite sure what my ideal is. But that's why for a little while I'm a little bit, especially on the treasuries, I'm sticking to sim because I've clearly needed to make some adjustments, right? So I'm sure there'll be people like, oh, he did so terrible. And I was like, well, so it's a learning process. Anyways, a lot of new guys. So thank you guys for stopping by. Had a lot of people come through today, so that's good. It's always like whenever we take a break, it was always a little bit less people, but you guys still come through for me, so I appreciate it because, yeah, this was always just kind of like a record for me, and I'm just so grateful that you guys enjoy watching and chatting with me. I'm choking up. No, I'm gonna cough. Excuse me. All right. Well, see, here's another spot, and I want to take the level break, and they're not doing them. That is a pretty insane run. Where is it? Right here. This one. That is an insane run. The question though is will this hold? Will this hold tomorrow? The E-mini sold down. I wouldn't say that it's too dire or significant yet, but see in the E-mini. In the E-mini, I see this. Something like that, right? So, they were breaking through on the upside. Now they're coming back. Maybe they come back to here. Like maybe they could get to the 2730 area. And then it could still be bullish. But then if they start coming back down here on this side of it, then it could start to become really dire. Then we start to get into what Gary Rich was talking about, like a slowdown later in the year, right? Oops. I don't know if having these hourly charts up anymore are even helpful. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man, because like it's not wrong, but it is. Oh, well, let me log in. What's the deal? So like here's the thing, live action. Yes, the deal that we have now is not too different from what we had before. As in they had tariffs and then things kind of fell apart and we were going to add some tariffs and they stopped buying stuff. And the deal that we get on the phase one basically takes us back to where we were before. We take off a little bit of the tariffs that we put on when we got all angry, and we're not going to put on any new ones. And China's going to buy about what they were buying before. But the specifics of the deal doesn't matter. What matters is if we get the larger deal. And the reason the larger deal matters is because if we get the larger deal, then all of the trade war stuff is off. Why is it that we need to get an amazing deal on the trade deal in order for the US economy to move up? Like, weren't we already on a good trajectory before all of that? You know what I mean? So that's why I really don't think that the details of the deal matter. But there are clearly some people in the market that don't believe that. I don't. You know what though? On the treasuries bit, the biggest thing that you've got driving this market is that the dealers have to buy it today. I have no choice but to buy it, and so that's a large part of why you're getting what you're getting. I'm sure. I didn't expect it to move us quite the way that we did, for sure. I'm quite surprised that we ended up just having a straight up trend day. So remember I said like everything's up, but I'm hesitant to just like straight up buy it because the larger time frame might disagree. But that ended up not mattering. Sometimes you're wrong. I'm wrong every day. All the time. Posting the cryptocurrency notes here. Anyways, I think that's about it. We got some more stuff to talk about, but we'll do it later in the week or maybe next week. I feel like that these 2 days here, Thursday and Friday, are just kind of like get readjusted, So that's what we'll do. Because once we come back onto Monday, then we'll get things will be very different. And we got some news next week too, don't we? Like starting next Tuesday. Trade balance, ISM, building permits, ADP, yeah. Non-farms, rather. Oh, and the auctions. What do I have on here? What do you mean by FOMC today? There's definitely not an FOMC meeting today. Oh, minutes. Minutes tomorrow. We get the minutes tomorrow at noon. Jum. No. No. I don't see that. No, there you go. No, I show it that it's on Friday. So here's the Forex Factory. So on the 3rd, they get them on Friday. Today is Thursday. We're already through with today's news. Right, we just had the PMI. So tomorrow. Okay. I like your where you're going there, Mark. Let me see if I can understand what you're talking about here. So 155, you got to be talking about the bond, right? So you're saying that there was some puts that were looking to get all the way to 155 and it's not happening, and so they're hedging themselves and that's why they're all buying it up. I suppose that could be a factor. Let's go. I have to go here really quick. Well, not really quick, but soon. I posted the Patreon, right? Oh, publish. But let's come over here and bring up a CME. Let's see if I can see what you're talking about. Markets. We'll pull this up because that's about to stop reading things out for me. Where is it? Open interest heat map, right? There we go. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Euro dollars, huh? We'll look at the 30-year. Now that's interesting. Where's my So you notice that the most is at 157, of course, which is where we are right now. But there's quite a bit of puts right here. Look at all these puts right there. And look at all these puts right there. Gotcha. So they're making money off of it, but then they're hedging themselves in case it turns back around? Is that almost kind of like them locking in profits of sorts? Is that kind of what you mean? Man, and notice also like there's big puts down there, but like where are the calls? Maybe these 12s, like there's hardly anybody on calls. This is for what the January strikes. Oh no, they're for the March ones. Oh no, these are the March ones. March one's 155 as well. Gotcha. Delta hedging. So you've got puts, and then that makes you net short them. You hedge your position. You have to buy treasuries. hmm. Hmm. This is looking at something John sent me here. What's this 60-minute chart? I really think it should be from here to here. But he's drawing it like way further out, is he? No. He's drawing it off of this bar right here. He's saying from here back. Huh. Well, you could do it off of this bar, right? Part of it is determining where the expansion is, right? If you did it off of this bar. That gets you close to what John has. Still says 14. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's almost perfect. Just lines meant to be broken. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, but there's like a thing. First day of the month, last and first day of the month, always buying. First day of the year, almost always buying. So maybe that's why I'm like, I guess my read on like the overall day was not good, but like I'm still seeing this as like they come up here, like so. Well, let's do it in ZB, since that's what we were talking about, right? Oh, yeah, I need more data. It's okay, don't worry about it. We would really need to be able to like chat maybe later in the day. Well, actually, here, let me show you this and then I'll go back to it, okay? Yeah, so here's 14. Like, it's still like a congested area. Like, this 157.16 is something. So, it's totally possible that we could have this huge trend day and then just tomorrow just completely flip around and turn down the other way. No, what I was saying, John, was the algorithm is find the outside bar. It's either the outside bar or the extremes since the London Open, right? So if we do it from the outside bar, then you go on the hourly chart. Here, let me make it big. Okay. On the hourly chart. That one hit down there perfect. So I'm drawing one much further to the right because you were drawing it off of this one, right? So there's that. The other way would be so from here to here, 05 to 28. So that's 23, which is about 11. So around here, 16. Sure. So that would be from here to here. That one doesn't quite work. See, although it is kind of, that one kind of works. So I don't know. Or da, 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 da. See how I did that one? From the outside bar to the inside, the last white bar. Pretty, that one matched almost exactly. There's also this outside bar, but that one would not make much sense. That's about the right spot too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the lines are like super significant for how we want to trade or not, but I don't know. By the way, where'd the E-mini end up getting to? And then I gotta go. Okay, so they came down and now maybe they can head back up. I like to look to the left and find the extremes where price reversed direction. Like that one? That one actually was a good. Seth, I think you have a great year. You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will teach by the numbers. Hey, thanks, live action. You know what? I think that we need a lot of work still. Just to be honest, like December was quite a learning experience. Let's say I think that I need to adjust a bunch of stuff, and until I really feel confident in how I want to make my adjustment, I think that we're gonna have a lot of struggles, and that's okay. That's why I was saying I'll bring it back up. I'll bring it back up here again, right? Let me bring this back up here. Listen.
Fake people have an image to maintain. Real people genuinely just don't give a fuck. Fake people.
Listen, we can come in here and we can come in every day and we just do our thing. And if we're not winning, that's okay, because it's a learning process and we're just being ourselves. I don't have to like maintain some image where I always have to win or some nonsense like that. So it's okay. We can just admit that we're going through a readjustment period. Yeah.
JB says the upper ones would not have a line drawn from the lowest point. JB says I like to look to the left and find the extremes where price reversed direction.
She's going to read a bunch of stuff here.
Live action says Seth, I think you're going to have a great year. You will not laugh, you will not cry, you will teach by the numbers.
It's funny how she always grabs that last little bit of stuff. Let me go back over to this. The upper ones would not have a line drawn from the lower point. You mean this lower point over here? I don't know. I think I'm just curve fitting at the moment, like, to be honest with you. And when I look at it, all I'm saying is, okay, so I know that I'm supposed to start from the outside bar. That one makes a lot of sense, right? I'm just going to the bottom of that inside bar in front of it. That's the expanding pattern. From outside to inside, that's the expansion. And so if we expect that expansion to continue, sure enough, that's what happened. Now on this one, it's saying that it's going to go to 14. It's like so much further out there. So if it's right, then maybe we get that. I think they're done though. You are curve fitting. Yeah. I think I'm curve fitting. So I don't know. That one makes a lot of sense to me, but it's not what we discussed yesterday, was it? What we discussed yesterday was it has to be from the open, right? So the extremes of the European session. So from here to here, and we do a fib thing like this. Go from here to here. Then we find the last spot that you could be long from there back. So I think that this red spot right here is probably what it is. Although I want to do it on a 5-minute chart. That was the one that we discussed yesterday. So the one that we discussed yesterday, they went well through it. But you're using the last bar of the session to platform. Not much information on that bar. Yeah. So I don't know if it's particularly useful today, but the thing that I find so interesting about today is I have one edge, not one edge, but one of the edges that I have is the statistics on the days. And one of the statistics that we have is that the beginning of the month, beginning of any time period, they tend to buy in the treasuries. And that seems to me like the only edge that really, really mattered today. And well, and I could have got with these. I don't know why I didn't trade this right. I'm just a little, I don't know. That one was actually right too, right? So this one right here. Remember we said it's going up and that's the only one that's at a top? So that one is a down. That one should be down and it was. It just happened at the beginning of the minute, so it looks like it's on a down bar. That's why. That's why I'm like, you have to be watching it literally at that moment. Here we got that one. You could maybe consider one. I don't know. I feel like that after this though, that it looks like they were done. Like that's a more significant pullback. So maybe they find balance and end the day at 28 or something like that. Anyways, this is past my time. JB, we can make some other changes to the tape. The thing that would probably be most useful to me is just the organizing things, like so that we know what are our biggest priorities. Because next time I might have to work on it is Tuesday. Oh, well, I mean this weekend and then Tuesday. Not to mention you're looking at the last 2 days of the month and the year on the left side of the chart. Yeah. Anyways, we want to make some changes to our little aggregated tape. So just like make a list, and we're like a prioritized list, so that we can just churn them out really quickly. All right. Well, better trading tomorrow, huh? I'll see you guys then, and then thank you guys for watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. What else? Man, it's you go for a week and a half, and I'm just so off, right? Yeah, that's it. Hey, thank you guys very much. In the meantime, stay profitable.